So here we're no longer looking at just Mercury. We're now looking at a Jupiterian Mercury with a flavor of Scorpio. Okay, we're no longer this is what you got to understand. Once you're dealing with a conjunction, you're no longer looking at a single planet. Just like Jupiter, you're no longer looking at Jupiter. That's not Jupiter anymore. It is Jupiter, but it's Mercurian Jupiter. Is that making any sense?
Yes.
Yes.
And what exactly does that mean? This Jupiter is going to carry the traits of Mercury, and this Mercury is going to carry the traits of Jupiter. So we're now looking at two planets that have shared their qualities with each other. That's a conjunction. Okay? Now, to make it a little more complicated, the chart that we were looking at, this is no longer a Mercurian Jupiter anymore. Now it's influenced by Ketu, right? When you're looking at a combination, you gotta look at everything together, which is gonna take time. It'll take time. So this was a conjunction, is what Pam was talking about. What's the difference between a conjunction and an exchange? So here is your example of a conjunction. What you're looking at right here is a mix, a blend of Mercury, Jupiter, and Ketu sitting together. Okay? What that means is that when this planetary combination becomes active, it is going to take all of the signs, it's going to activate all of the signs that these planets own, which is Mercury owning 6 and 3, Jupiter owning 9 and 12, and Ketu, well, Ketu is a little complicated scene. Let's not talk about what houses it's going to own, but now we have a mix of 3 different planets. Okay, that is your conjunction. So in this chart that we were looking at, Mars was sitting in the 12th house. Okay. Now let's see how exactly this person is able to make a business out of astrology. If you remember exchange, okay? Exchange is basically 2 planets that are sitting in each other's houses. Do you guys see an exchange between Mercury and Mars here?
No.
Is Mercury sitting? Okay, Pam. Is Mercury sitting in the sign of Scorpio, which is ruled
Yes.
by Mars?
By Mars?
Yeah, it's not. Don't think Pluto, please. So Mercury is sitting in Scorpio, which is the house of Mars, sign of Mars. Mars owns 2 signs, Scorpio and Aries. And Mars is sitting in the sign of Virgo, which is owned by Mercury. Is that clear?
No. Can you repeat that again, please?
Okay. Okay, so I want you to focus on Mercury and Mars. An exchange is basically a relationship between 2 planets who are sitting in each other's houses. Mercury is sitting in Mars's house, and Mars is sitting in Mercury's house.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Does that make sense, Pam? Mars owns Scorpio.
Can you send me those slides? Because I don't have that stuff like Mars
Okay.
on Scorpio
Well,
and
let's just open up rulerships quickly.
because yeah,
Let's just quickly open up. That's fine. Let's quickly open up rulerships.
yeah, that's what's confusing me, I think, not
That's
knowing
fine.
the
That's fine.
rulerships.
Rulerships have to be down pat. If you, it will be a lot easier with knowing the rulerships. Okay, one second. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have rulerships, I don't think.
Why can't I see rulerships? One second. Okay, do you guys see the screen of rulerships now, or?
Yeah, so
I
I
want
don't
to, okay.
understand when you said Scorpio Mars and Mars and Aries. Is that what you're talking about?
I want you to just take a look at the signs that Mars and Mercury both own. Okay?
Aries, Gemini, Virgo, Scorpio.
Yep. So Scorpio, the eighth sign, is owned by Mars. So is Aries. Okay? 1 and 8 are owned by Mars, and 3 and 6 are owned by Mercury, Gemini, and Virgo. Okay?
Okay.
Now let's.
Can I just add? Maybe it'll help her. It's my little trick.
What's
Pam?
your. Yeah, Monica, go ahead.
So seeing that chart, right? Then
Mm-hmm.
when Johnny shows you the diagram again, look at the number that the planet sits in. That's what he means. So you see number 8, and then that's Mars, according to this chart, right? And then you also see the planet
Oh,
Mercury in it. And then when you look at 6, it is planet Mercury, but the sign of sorry, yeah, but the sign of Mars, so planet Mars is also in that house. You got a little number. That's where you're connecting to
oh,
this.
oh,
Does that help?
okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah. So you have to
helps.
connect the two. I have like all kind of pages here to see it.
Monica has
So
made
just a
some.
little tip to help you.
That's great. It's yeah. Basically, Pam, what you want to do, and also Lefia and Michelle. It's a little advanced for you guys, but um, we're trying to deal with an exchange here. Okay, it's a little advanced. Um, Mercury is going to own Gemini, which is sign number 3, and Mercury also owns sixth sign, which is Virgo. So remember, 3 and 6 is Mercury, and 1 and 8 is Mars. Let's come back to this. We had just seen that Mars owns 1 and 8, and Mercury owns 6 and 3. Okay, let's just focus on 8 and 6. Mars owns 8, and Mercury owns 6. So, can we agree on the fact that they are sitting in each other's houses?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Let's go back to the confusing chart that we were looking at. Okay, so back to the original question. The original question was that we've already established the fact that this person is able to do astrology as a profession because we were able to connect the second house and the eighth house with the 10th house. But do you see any connection between Jupiter and the seventh house? which is the house of business. Think exchange. So, how does exchange work? Because Mercury is sitting in eighth house, in Mars's sign, and Mars is sitting in Mercury's sign, they basically have a relationship. Okay, there's a relationship between Mercury and Mars. There's communication between Mercury and Mars because they're sitting in each other's houses. Whenever you see an exchange, whenever you see that two planets are sitting in each other's houses, you can also consider this planet invisibly, or an invisible Mars sitting here, and you can also see an invisible Mercury sitting here. Okay, it is basically, it is a rule. It is a rule of exchange. It is a rule of it's an exchange rule that when two planets are not sharing, when they're sitting in each other's houses, you can also picture the energy of the second planet sitting in the first house, and Mercury, you can also picture Mercury sitting in the 12th house. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now that we know that there's an invisible Mars sitting here, let's just move Mars to the second house so it's easier for you guys to visualize. Okay, Mars is actually still sitting here, and we're just saying that we just I'm just telling you that Mars, there's also an invisible Mars sitting in the second house because of the exchange. Okay, are you now able to see a connection between Jupiter, who's making connection with the 10th house, and the 7th house? My hint to you, look at Jupiter and Mars. Is Jupiter now sitting with the 7th lord?
Yes.
Perfect. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Now, because of the invisible Mars, okay, because of the invisible Mars, I've just written it down. I'm just written it here, or put it in the second house, just for you to visualize it clearly. That there's also the energy of Mars sitting in the second house, which connects Jupiter with the 7th house because Mars is the owner of the 7th house. Now, Jupiter is making connection with the 7th house, not through aspect, by being conjunct with the 7th lord, and Jupiter is aspecting the 8th house of astrology, and Jupiter is aspecting the 10th house of profession. So by exchange, we're now able to connect Jupiter not only with the typical 5, 7, and 9, but also with other houses because of the conjunction. A little extreme, maybe a little too advanced, but if you look at it a few times, or if you watch the video a few times, it will make sense.
Sorry. Can you please explain again why Mars is the lord of house 7?
Yes. What signs or what numbers does Mars own?
In Mars own 1 and 8.
What is here? What do you see here?
Oh, I see. Okay. Ah, okay, got it. Thank you.
Perfect?
Yes.
Okay. Now, before I let you guys go,